Hi friends, I'm in Buffalo this afternoon. I had to drop my sister off at the airport. She'd been visiting for a few days. And every time I'm in Buffalo, if I can, I try to make it over to our old neighborhood here on the west side. So I'm actually standing in the lot next to our old house, which is right behind me here, underneath the mulberry tree that's on this lot. And in the years that we lived here in the city, I grew to really love this mulberry tree. It was this time of year, it was always one of the first trees to start changing in the fall. In the spring, it was one of the first trees to start budding. And then in the summer, it's just filled with delicious mulberries. One of the things I learned about mulberry trees from living next to this tree is just how strong they are. They have extremely strong root systems. And that makes what Jesus says in Luke chapter 17 even more interesting to me. His disciples approach him and they ask Jesus to give them more faith. They say, "Lord, increase our faith." And he tells them that if they have faith that's the size of a mustard seed, which is a tiny, tiny, tiny seed, if they have faith like mustard, that they could tell a mulberry tree like this one to be uprooted and planted in the sea, and that it would obey them. It's as if I were to tell this mulberry tree to be uprooted and planted in Lake Erie behind me, and it would obey me. Jesus says it only takes faith that big to see wonderful things happen, right? To defy logic, it takes faith like mustard, that small. Instead, Jesus then sort of takes his disciples' focus away from faith and reorients their focus around obedience. He starts to talk to them about the relationship between servants and their masters. And he places the emphasis here less on having a big, wonderful faith and more about being obedient. And this is just a dynamic that's true for Christians throughout the ages. That we desire to have this big faith. Like, Lord, increase our faith. We want this big faith. But Jesus is always inviting us to be obedient. Jesus doesn't require us to have a big faith. He actually just requires us to have a small faith, a faith like mustard, and invites us instead to be obedient, to shape our lives around him, to shape our lives around the things that he instructs us to do as his followers. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this Sunday, that intersection of faith and obedience. And I look forward to doing that. So I look forward to seeing many of your faces on Sunday. Know that I love you. I'm praying for you, and I'll see you then. Take care, friends.